Stephen here from Archery Supplies. Today I want to talk about Win Archery. Win Archery produce some of the most innovative and top-of-the-line products in the world, especially when it comes to recurve archery. This is the Meta DX. It's a carbon riser with dampeners to shoot it completely dead in the hand. Carbon clickers. Honestly, there's no comparison in my view between the carbon clicker and a normal clicker. It's much noisier. It's a very, very good product. Carbon adjustable V-bars. Amazing, really cool technological stuff. And Win's always at the top of the podium lines when it comes to Olympic recurve archery. You'll always see them getting golds and silvers and bronze, if not getting all three medals, shot by Win bow. And their archers are just incredible. The limbs. So this is the Meta This is the ATFX Deluxe. Just like every year, stuff's improving. They improve the arrow rest, they improve the grip. This grip feels much, much better. Dampening. I've changed this limb pocket. Every year it gets better. And it's been this way since I can remember. And Win is into, obviously, other carbon materials, such as carbon products, such as push bikes. They produce BMXs, races, and the like. And I was thinking to myself, what's happened with the Win compound bow? So, going back in history, Win produced a compound bow, and they produced a whole range of compound bows, hunting compound bows and target compound bows, and they were really successful for my store. They had unique paint finishes, they were priced right, they were ideal for the market, and substantially cheaper than the American products. So what happened? I thought, is it just me, or has Win died from the compound perspective? So I started doing a bit of research on Win compound bows. Now, these two, this is the target Win compound bow. Look, it's cool. It's got a brace, it's got adjustable grips, it's got a cool cam system. This is the hunting bow, carbon riser. You cut this thing in half, it's carbon all the way through. It's not like, it's not like a Hoyt, which is aluminium, and then carbon coater. It's not like the PSE, which is foam with carbon. And you can argue the points of the advantages of each of them, right? But this is carbon all the way through. It's a pretty cool product. And Win have got some pretty cool products. My question is, did the products just stop selling in my shop because of me, or did they stop selling for another reason? So I started doing a bit of research on Win compounds. So I went all around the world and in Australia to look at Win compounds to see if they're selling, see if anyone's shooting them. I Googled it to see if anyone was shooting the latest Win compounds, to see their views. I Googled it on Facebook, and I could find little to no reference of Win compounds. So then I went to my European suppliers and typed in Win compounds. Now they had literally none in stock. They didn't stock them. Now they did stock the older models, and they were 60% off prices, which is amazing. It's a really, really good price, and they're losing lots of money. And they had 10 bows in stock. So 2 hands worth of bows in stock at 60% off. So then I was like, well, maybe they're in the UK, maybe they're in America. Very hard to find. In fact, scanning the world, I could find one of these bows in another archery shop, and it was being sold at below cost. Okay, so I was like, well, I want to do this video and just talk about it and discuss why I think Win compound bows are struggling, and just have that conversation and just get it out there. So now, when I have these discussions, I can get massive criticism from the company doing so. Okay, so if I did this on a US compound bow manufacturer, I would probably get banned. So, and I run the risk of getting banned from Win. So I'm going to say that, right? I run the risk of getting banned from Win for producing a video like this, right? So Now, I sell a whole heap of the Win and Win recurve bows. I think I'm one of the top 3 dealers in the world for Win and Win recurve bows. Okay, I was always top 3 in the world. I sell a whole stack of them, and I used to sell a whole stack of the compounds. I was the biggest compound bow seller for Win and Win in the world. So I want to talk about what happened and my view on it and their bows and what's happened. So the first thing I'm going to say is we had massive success with Win and Win compound bows. I stocked the whole entire range. So all the colors, everything you could need for a Win and Win compound bow, we had. So it's a big cost commitment from my side to stock the product. Okay? So as a shop, you've got to make that commitment to that brand. You've got to say, I'm going to invest this amount of product, this amount of dollars in your brand, and hope that it sells. Which is okay if the brand supports you and basically gives you good pricing or gives you a territory and says, look, Stephen, we're going to let you sell Win and Win bows for Australia, so any Win and Win bows sold in Australia will be sold via your shop. So every shop that needs to buy a Win and Win bow will buy a Win and Win from you. Therefore, then I would go and buy a whole lot of Win and Win bows, sell them to all the shops around Australia, and basically guarantee they'd have a margin and they'll be making profit when they sell it. Now, if you don't have that, then what you have is you have price wars going on. So the only other bow I could find, this one, was being sold at, I'm going to guess, about $300 under cost price. So do I want to buy more of these bows when the only other one for sale is $300 less than my cost? The answer is no, I don't. I do not want to buy more products if they're being sold at under cost price, okay? I'm not going to take that risk, right? So I'm not going to market the bow. I'm just going to clear out my stock and not bother with it. So if you don't have a control on how much money you're making, and it's not that you need to make some money. From your investment, if you're going to invest $50,000 or $100,000 or even $5,000, you need to have some sort of level of commitment from the company that they're going to look after you with that bow, in my view. Okay? So, and I'm going to say that I spoke to Win and Win about this, and we're going to go with Win and Win's response in a second. So I need to have some level of commitment. Now, what I had is I had a whole bunch of Win and Win compound bows in stock, and then Win and Win supplied to the shop down the road 1 or 2 bows, and he sold it, basically cost price. So all my bows become worthless. When I say worthless, I can't make any money on them, so I'm not making money, so I've just got to clear them and not restock them. So that's what I had to do. So I no longer I can't push Win and Win because I can't make any money on it. I can't carry the parts because I can't make any money on it. I just have to write the brand off. Okay? Now, that means someone else can pick up the Win and Win brand and say, well, look, I'll carry it. But they run the same risk that I had, where someone will undercut them if they make a successor out of it. That's capitalism. That's the way it works, right? So there's a risk. Now, in most industries, the retailer is protected. And when I say protected, if you want to go and buy Yamaha motorbikes, you need to buy and guarantee Yamaha that you're going to buy so many Yamahas a year. That doesn't occur largely in archery. Largely in archery, if you want to buy one of these bows from Win and Win, you can just contact Win and Win and they'll sell it to you at the same price they sell to me for, and I might have $100,000 invested. So there's no incentive for me to buy $100,000 worth of stock, because why would I? Now that's going to my next thing is backup service. So when you need parts and you need to fix people's bows because they dry fire them, which is very common with compound bows, they shoot them without arrows, they blow up. When they derail them, so they torque them and then the strings blow off, you need to be able to fix these. We go through about 4 derails and dry fires a week in this shop. So, and I'm going to say walk-in customers, far, far less. Dry fires and derails. It still occurs, but a far less degree. Dry fires and derails occur generally from beginners. When they get a bow, they pull it back and let go. Or someone's ordered a bow, they get home, and their brothers pulled it back and let go before his brothers got home to have a shot with the bow. Bow's blowing up. Right, so you need backup from the company as far as the parts and all that. The product has to be well priced in the marketplace, and you've got to have a product that fits in to a niche in the market that the market needs. And Win did this really well at the start. They had beginner target bows at a good price, and they had advanced target bows at under half the US target price market. Now, I'm going to go to this bow. This is the top of the line Win compound bow. Target. It's got a brace. It's got an adjustable grip. It's got your dart and cams, which you know are good cams, and we're going to talk about these. It's a split yoke system that balances the cams, good and glass limbs, metal limb pockets. It's a good bow. Like, I would shoot this bow, no problem. But it doesn't sell. What price point does it sell at? It sells at under half what the equivalent American bow does. So why doesn't it sell? It's got all the stuff that the American bow has, and you could argue it's got better stuff than the American bow has. No disrespect to the American products, which are amazing. But it has the same cams, it has the same limbs, it has the same riser, it's got a brace, it's got adjustable grip. How many bows have adjustable grip? Bowtech. Hoyt, maybe, but like this is good. Like carbon here, brace is good. Flexible cable slide, good. Like this stuff on this boat is good. So why at a price of half what the Americans sell for is this not selling? Now it could be that the top shooters are not shooting Win compound bows. Win, Korea have some of the best archers in the world. And you could argue quite strongly that most of the high school students in Korea could beat the top archers in the world without a problem. Going to say that, and most Americans will say, no, that's not true. It's amazing what Korea has. The 3 archers you see on a world stage are only, they only touch the surface of the Koreans that are shooting every day, getting trained at schools by top Olympians. It's an amazing program, and that's why they have so much success. But why are we not seeing top-of-the-line compound shooters shoot Win? Now, some of it's got to do with money. A lot of the top compound shooters get paid to shoot the product. They will get paid prize money for each shoot they win. And I'm going to guess Win do not offer prize money for people shooting their products, winning events. Now, you might say, I live in Australia, or I live in Europe, or I live in UK. There's no prize money, so why do I care? Well, a lot of you might follow what the Americans are doing. And it gets back to your shops. Your shops need to stock this product. If they don't stock it, you're not even going to know about this product. So if they don't stock it, they don't promote it, you won't even know about it. It won't even be an option for you when you go to buy a bow. So now the next problem I have is this cam system. This is the Darton cam system. And I go on all the time about cam systems, and I cop a heap of abuse about cam systems. So originally, Elite had a fixed module that bolted onto the bow. And you can go back further, and bows had specific draw length cams, and people would say, well, it's for performance. It made it really hard for a shop to sell a product. Because when a customer comes in, it's like, is my draw length 28, 29, 28 and a half? They'd buy a bow and then they're like, my draw length's now 30 inches. And you'd be like, oh, I can't make that bow work. With rotating modules, it makes it really easy for a shop to sell a product. For me to sell this product, I need to stock all the modules. Now, I obviously have purchased this bow to sell, and I haven't sold it. It's been in my shop for over a year. I do not have the modules to fit this bow to change the draw length. And let's say the modules cost $70 each. How many modules do I need to stock to meet the needs of a consumer when it comes to buying this product? I can order it in, but then you've got a 3 or 4 month wait to get the module. So from the time you decide this is the bow I want, I've got to get the module, I've got a 3 or 4 month wait. People aren't going to wait 3 or 4 months. So you need to have the stuff in stock. It makes it really, really hard to sell. This is the Win Hurricane. It's a hunting bow. It's under 4 pounds, carbon riser. Good grade limbs, really nice cams to draw back. Same deal. Fixed draw length. The only way you can change the draw length on this bow is by buying modules. Now this would be okay if you're selling a whole heap of these bows, because you'd have all the modules in and Win's looking after you, and you would have them and you'd be selling a whole heap of these bows. The problem comes if you're not protected by Win. If you start selling these, then the guy down the road is going to buy them and sell them at cost, and then you can't sell your bows, but you'll sell the modules that you have. And it's like, well, it's no use me stocking them. Why have I got all these modules now that I can't sell? So it gets back to no incentive to sell the product. Okay, so that's I think Win have had some really good products, and they've had some great carbon bows, which are very lightweight for beginners and kids and ladies to get into. The paintwork is amazing, absolutely incredible. The quality is incredible, and I think some of the paintwork on the Win limbs and the risers, unbelievable. And I think if they did that on some of the compounds, it would make a huge difference to sales. Now you'd say, well, with Win recurves, you're not protected either. There's a demand for the product. There's a demand for this riser. There's a demand because people see it on the world stage and it's like, I want that riser. So I will buy that riser from whoever has it in stock. So as a result, all the shops will have it in stock. Now, it wasn't always the way with Win. When I started with Win, there was no Wins in Australia. I was the first person to bring Win into Australia. Australia was a Hoyt country. Everyone shot Hoyt. And I'm like, well, I'm going to bring in Win. And I went to Win and I was like, I want to bring in Win. I want Win to be bigger than Hoyt. Win far exceeds Hoyt today. It's not even close. So, now, saying that, all the Hoyt dealers now stock Win recurves. It's like, great. So now I can't, now not every Win, I don't sell the volumes I used to sell, because not every Win sold in Australia is sold through my shop. It's sold through all the different shops in Australia who will buy one as they need it. But as consumers, you have to wait 3 months for them to get the bow in, or you can get the bow off us and we've got it in stock. So there's an incentive there for the consumer to stock the item, for the shop to stock the item for the consumer. Right, so I want to go into Win. So Win first off said, look, we really appreciate the discussion and enthusiasm about compound bows. So I'm like, I don't know how you're going to feel after the video, but so that's kind of interesting. So now I'm going to say the Win engineer for the compound bows came to my store. He's been in my store and we've discussed compound bows. Nice guy. Really, really nice guy. So he came to my store and we went through all the compound bows. This is the note back from them. Came into my store and we went through all the compound bows, what sells and why different things sell, and what's popular. And he wrote down all notes, and if I had problems with Wins before, he wrote down a list and they sent me all the bits I needed. Fantastic, right? So absolutely fantastic. I haven't seen him since, but I'm going to go back to Win's view on why their compound bow sales are not competitive in the market. So first thing I'm going to say is most American companies lie. And I'm not going to have a go at American companies. I sound like I am. You go to an American company, how's your bow sales? And they're like, brilliant, we're selling thousands and thousands of bows. I remember I went to Winchester at the ATA show. And I'm like, and they had a whole range of bows. I was like, how's your bow sales in Australia? We're selling thousands, 10,000 bows in Australia. I'm like, bullshit. And I just walked away. I was like, bullshit. Call them bullshit. Let's call it out. And I walked away, right? It's like, if you're going to bullshit, like, I'm not even having a conversation, right? So when people say, well, this is how many we sell, don't bullshit me. Like, you should know what the market is. And I appreciate honest discussions about how you can improve the market and how you can grow the market, right? So if you're going to, like, just lie, just don't even bother, right? So anyway, so they say the reason why our bows are not competitive in the market, one of the reasons is technology. They say there's continuous development in the compound bow market and it's rapidly evolving, and our focus has been on recurve bows. We haven't been able to allocate sufficient resources for the development and investment in compound bows. So what Win-Win's saying that every year there's a massive improvement in compound bow development and it's very hard for them to keep up. Is that a valid argument? What do you think? Now I'm going to go back to, I'm probably going to get in trouble, I'm going to go back to the PSE Supra, one of the biggest selling target compound bows that I've ever had. And I'm going to say arguably the biggest selling compound target bow made, the PSE Supra. And I'm going to say that design has not changed in 8 years? And you can say, well, Stephen, they brought out the hinge, the little thing to move the wheels left and right, and yeah, like they made the limbs a bit wider to make the cams more stable. The bow shoots the same. You can take a PSE Supra from 8 years ago compared to the one today, it shoots the same. It's a good product. It was a good product back 8 years ago. It's still a good product today, except the price is a lot more. This is the Bowtech Reckoning. And I'm going to say one of the most advanced compound bows on the market today. It's got adjustable modules, so you can rotate it, you can flip them. It's got draw stop. It's got adjustable grip. Now this bow's been on the market for a number of years and it's just been upgraded this year, which is a bit disappointing for me because all my last year's stock only just came in, so that was a bit of a bugger for me. But the changes were not big, they were very minor in my view. So is the argument that there's been massive development changes and you're going to say, well, how about the hunting bows? I think the NXT31 was a brilliant bow from years and years ago, 5 years ago maybe, and today you've got the Fortis. It shoots pretty much the same. The cams are pretty much the same. The modules are pretty much the same. I'm trying to think of the difference. They're pretty much the same. And there has been jumps in technology, so Win is absolutely 100% correct. There has been jumps in technology. Elite jumped from a fixed cam module to this rotating module where you can change the draw length, you can change the draw stop, you can change the way the bow feels, and it's got the tuning ability on the limbs. That was such a jump in Elite's technology that it made it, in my view, jump from being average bow company to being one of the leading bow companies in the market. So absolutely a huge jump. But since they made that jump, it's like, in my view, I don't think there's much jump. And if I go to the Hoyt Invicta, the Hoyt Stratos, the Hoyt one before that one, they're all pretty much the same. The cam, the SVX cam, hasn't changed for years. So look, I understand what you're saying, Win, by saying technology does improve and you need more investment. You have an engineer there. You've gone with the Darton cams. I mean, I would have asked which cam system to go for and I would have said which one to go for, but anyway. That Win-Win's going to say, secondly, they've had challenges with cam design. So basically they've had a challenge about which cam to go for. So this is obviously the Darton patent. It's basically a Darton cam and they'd be paying the Darton cam patent. I assume they're paying the Darton cam patent. Now, the third point Win would say is that American bow companies have a long-standing presence in the industry. They have consistently attracted the top players in the market to shoot their bows. And their continuous development of the brand has established their brands. Unlike recurve, the compound market is relatively new to us and entering it has proven very challenging. I'm going to say, Win, no. Absolutely no. In regard to You had the same challenges when you entered the recurve market all those years ago when I was young. I'm old now, but 30 years ago, Hoyt dominated. There was no win-and-win bows on podiums winning. There was so few people shooting win-and-win bows. Samick archery was bigger than win-and-win when I was 20. It was no comparison. The Olympics was won by a person shooting a Samick recurve, and we're a Samick today. Win-and-Win has done amazing things with the recurve bows, and yes, they do have good people shooting them and they're on the world stage. The question is, how do you do the same thing with compound bows? And why are you not in shops? Why are you not in distributors? That is the question. You have to listen to people as far as, and you might say, well, Stephen doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, that's fine. Listen to whoever. Listen to people, process it, take the ideas in, and then come up with something that works. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to listen to anything I'm saying. I might be 100% wrong on everything. So basically, Win-and-Win have said, compound, the technologies have been really hard for them. The cams have been really hard to choose. Let's just talk about cams and the cam industry. We had Matthews with a single cam. This is the cam of the future, Matthews single cam. Everyone's going to shoot a single cam. Hoyt changes to single cam, everyone else follows. And then Bowtech's like, no, we're going to go with double cam. And then their bows are substantially faster. And they called it a binary cam system. Really, it was just a twin cam, which we all knew and loved. But so then everyone starts swapping back to twin cams. Then Matthews is like, oh, our single cams aren't working. We'll come out with another cam called a no cam. That's the cam everyone's going to shoot. It's going to be called a no cam. The problem was it was extremely slow. So that failed. And then Matthews have now got the big twin cams, same as everyone else. But I would argue that cam development, most bows are pretty similar. They have very similar cam designs. Rotating modules on bows are very common these days. Cable stops are very common these days. And some bows have some things which are unique. Like Bowtech's got the movable cams. Elite's got the twisting limbs. Unique. But that doesn't make sales. What makes sales is people stocking the item, looking after them, and then demand for the product. You need demand by people going, this is a really good product, so you need to get it in people's hands. You've got social influencers, you've got top shooters. People need to have it. Now in America, it is absolutely 100% guaranteed you need to offer prize money if you want to make a stage on the American scene, to have people following your product. Because Paige Pierce, I'm going to pick Paige, one of the most influential archers in the world in my view, she's not going to pick up a win-and-win bow because she's getting paid by Bowtech to shoot their bow, and they're giving her money every time she shoots it. Because every time she shoots it, she wins. So unless you give her money to shoot your bow, she's not going to shoot it. And she'd need more money than she's getting now. So that's my feeling on Win-and-Win. So I think it's been some issues about suppliers. I think there's been issues with supply of the product. And yes, I think there's been some development issues, but a lot of it's just been listing and knowing the product. Now, Korea is getting into compound bows. They've now employed an American coach to coach their compound shooters. And it's not like their compound shooters were terrible, because they were amazing also. But they are into compounds now. So maybe Win-and-Win will become big in compounds by listing and seeing what their shooters want. But there's still that massive hunting market. Hunting still represents 90% of the compound market, so you still need to tap into that. But for me, it's very interesting that they have so much success with their recurve bows, their push bikes, and their compounds are amazing products, and literally there's none of them sold. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching.